On today's episode, pro wrestling sandpit style in India, airborne acrobatics in Spain, pedal-powered polo in New Zealand, and golden goals on horseback in Argentina. The world's most unusual sports on Games of Strange. Spirituality and physical strength come together in an ancient form of wrestling called Kushti, invented 3,000 years ago in India. Each year, wrestlers known as Pehlvans travel to Delhi to an important dangle, the Hindi word for wrestling event, aiming to improve their national ranking. Current heavyweight champion Rajiv will be given a shot at the Olympics before he retires, if he can defend his title. For the 27-year-old current medium-weight champion and emerging star G2, victory would confirm the arrival of the sport's next generation.
मेरी 92 से स्टार्टिंग हुई है। पहले मैं गांव में करता था, तो मेरे फादर तो गुरुजी से मिलने आते थे, तो उनका भी मन करता था कि भाई मेरे बच्चे भी पहलवानी करे, तो गुरुजी ने उनको बोला कि भाई तू भी अपने बच्चे को लेके आ।
Rajiv is amongst the country's oldest and most experienced Pehlvans, but he still has a burning desire to test himself on the Olympic stage. If he can get into India's top 10, he'll get a shot at gold in Rio de Janeiro. Rajiv trains at India's oldest and most successful Akhara. Akhara is the name for both the sandpit and the club compound where Pehlvans live and wrestle. On the other side of Delhi is a rival Akhara that is vying to become number one. Its leading Pehlvan, G2, is out to make that happen.
मैं 12 साल का था जब से मैं पहलवानी कर रहा हूँ, और दादाजी ने लगा दिया था जब से ही, और उनको भी शौक था, इसलिए वो सोच रहे थे हमारे घर में भी आगे कोई पहलवान निकले, आगे नाम रोशन कर सके।
The rules of Kushti are simple. Pehlvans wrestle face to face using moves like the carousel and the washerman's drop. Hitting is not permitted, but grabbing your opponent's tight shorts, called langots, is. To win, Pehlvans must pin both of their rivals' shoulders to the ground. If neither athlete achieves this within 12 minutes, victory goes to the wrestler who dominated the bout. It's the day of the dangle. People from all over the country have descended on Delhi to see their Kushti heroes fight. Pehlvans from the various Akharas are grouped into 3 weight categories: light, medium, and heavyweight. It's a knockout format, so the last man standing is the winner. G2's first opponent is Mohit from Rajiv's Akhara. It's a chance for G2 to make his Akhara proud right from the get-go. It's a promising start for G2. Within moments, he's got Mohit down on his knees. But he recovers quickly, preventing G2 from getting a good grip on him. G2 then sinks to his knees to perform his favorite move, the washerman's drop, sweeping Mohit off his feet. Drifting out of the sandpit is not allowed, so there's a timeout to return to the center. G2 keeps cool and stays focused. A few minutes later, and victory is his. Unfortunately, he injured his kneecap in the process. Despite the triumph over Rajiv Zakara, the competition is over for Jitu. The dangle continues, and it's time for reigning heavyweight champion Rajiv to face Karnail, a national championship winner from North India. With an expectant crowd looking on, Rajiv is dead set on defeating his opponent. But Karnail is no pushover, and Rajiv struggles to get a good hold. The crowd grows impatient. Rajiv's fans begin to fear that he could lose. Suddenly, Rajiv seizes an opportunity. He is in control, but he still needs to pin down both shoulders. Rajiv has done it again, and his fans are overjoyed. Their hero is still the man to beat. With his status confirmed, Rajiv is one step closer to reaching the Olympics, the crowning achievement in a lifelong career of total dedication to Kushti. One of mankind's oldest dreams is slowly becoming more and more of a reality. Indoor skydiving allows you to feel like a bird without having to jump out of a plane at 13,000 feet. The best thing is, it's not much of a problem if you happen to hit the ground.
It's pure body flights. There's nothing, you don't have a rig on your back, just your body flying in the wind, and it's incredible.
The world's top skydivers compete in the Wind Games in Spain. Among them are two girls from France, Cathy Bouet and Domiti Quiget, the Windor women.
We feel like birds, even though we're still falling down and they can take off.
Empúria Brava in northern Spain is the biggest marina in Europe and home to Cathy Bouet, a professional skydiver for over 15 years. She's welcoming her new teammate, Domiti Quiget.
This kind of my career, it's a few medals, but it's not impressing myself at all. I want more. Domi, I want more.
Cathy and Domi compete in the two-way dynamic, a special discipline of indoor skydiving that is divided into two categories. The free routine, in which flyers create their own moves, and the speed run, which is all about performing a list of maneuvers as quickly as possible. Both categories are scored by a panel of judges.
In the speed rounds, basically this is like a racing track. You've got to pass a certain line, but if you don't quite pass the line, you'll get a bust. There's a part with the ring as well where you've got to make sure you fly around the ring. As long as they fly clean, then it's all down to speed.
In the free routine, flyers must win over the judges. There are no points, just like or dislike. Cathy and Domi practice their moves on the ground. They call this dirt diving.
We have like two maneuvers that are difficult for us.
One is getting into a side flying carve with a breaker on the bottom. The other one is a stand-up backflip.
The challenge for the stand-up backflip is to be able to do it synchronized and on place as well. The goal is to really be like matching each other.
With the event about to commence, the pressure is rising. thousands of spectators are following online, eager to watch the world's best indoor skydivers show off their skills. The first goal is to reach the quarterfinals. The teams must pass 5 rounds with speed and style. Kathy and Domi lay down a perfect start.
They're flying good, huh? They're flying good. They are pretty fast, so I think it's going to be a good competition.
8 teams take part in the quarterfinals, with each pair performing 1 speed run and 1 free routine. The 4 winning teams will progress to the semis. The Windor women are up against Dynamo Red, a team from the UK. Both pairs start with a free routine. The girls do well, but the judges are more impressed by the boys' risky maneuvers. 1-0 to Dynamo Red. Now, Kathy and Domi must win the speed run. It's a flawless performance and 3 seconds faster than their rivals. 1 point for the girls. A tiebreaker is needed to determine who'll make it to the semifinals, the Windor women or Dynamo Red. Unfortunately for the girls, it's another free routine.
We already know that the judges don't value our free round very much, so it's kind of not really suspenseful to go in there now, but this is probably the last time we're going to fly this routine, so we're going to go there and try to, fly and be happy about it.
Tom and Jamie from Dynamo Red put on a sterling performance with a stunning head-to-foot maneuver to wow the crowd. The girls put it all on the line, pulling off the stand-up backflip and barrel roll. But the precision is lacking. The girls versus the boys, France versus Britain. A place in the semis is at stake. And that place is taken by Dynamo Red. Having only had a few days of training together, the newly founded Windor women can be proud of today's exceptional achievement. The girls ultimately fell short of their target, but they believe in themselves as a team. Their journey has just begun.
I think it really helped us get closer. So on this level, I think it was good for us.
I think for me, it's always more difficult to keep the higher ranking than coming back from lower ranking. So, I mean, it's, yeah.
Now we're the underdog and we're ready to bark.
Hardcourt bike polo is about thrills and spills. It's an underground sport with fun-loving players and funky team names. Like the reigning world champions from France named Call Me Daddy.
I'm Paul. I'm playing bike polo for 6 years now, and I'm well known to be very hard on the court and very nice outside the court.
My name is Luca. The others consider me to be the wildest, but that's just their opinion.
I'm Will. I play polo since 2009, and I'm a lefty, which is cool to play polo.
Bike polo is played by teams of 3 players on bikes who use mallets to strike the ball towards the goal. Left-handed players have a distinct advantage as the bike shields the ball from right-handed opponents. The player's feet must stay off the ground at all times. If a foot goes down, the player must ride to the sidelines and tap in with the mallet to rejoin the game.
We're 3 very different players on the team. Will's like left-handed. He's very fast when he has the ball. Paul's kind of the big guy and he's chasing around all the players and being scary. And then I am the little guy doing everything else.
At the World Championships, there are 2 ways to win a game. One is to score 5 goals, The other is to be in the lead when the time's up after 12 minutes of play.
Bike polo is very similar to horse polo, but it's really much cheaper.
Call Me Daddy are off to New Zealand to defend their title at this year's World Championship. First order of business, assemble the bikes and go for a ride. They may be on a different continent, but the bike polo spirit is the same everywhere. The next 3 days will see 35 teams play over 300 matches in Timaru, New Zealand. At the World Championship, the teams play on 3 different courts. First up are the qualifying rounds, after which the 8 best teams face off in the quarterfinals.
Come on, Luca, come on, come on, come on!
Call Me Daddy, playing in black, win almost every game in qualifying. Day 2, and it's crunch time. It's the quarterfinals, and the tournament now adopts a knockout system. A loss would send our athletes home. Their first opponents are a Czech team called Golem. Call Me Daddy win 5-3, and it's on to the semifinals where they meet U.S. team, The Control. Both teams will need control in this match if they're to navigate the sudden downpour of rain, making for slippery conditions. Even so, Call Me Daddy go on the offensive. And the risk pays off. 1-0, their ticket to the grand final. It's a showdown against another team from France, the Outlaws Birds. The World Championship climax begins with Call Me Daddy playing in black. First goal for the Birds after 5 minutes of play. 2 minutes later, the score is even. The Birds score a second 8 minutes in. But Call Me Daddy need just 30 seconds to equalize. And the defending champs strike again to make it 3-2 with 3 minutes to play. 1 minute later, the Birds draw level at 3-3. 12 minutes are up. Both teams have 3 goals, which means overtime and sudden death. First team to score wins. Golden goal for the Outlaws Birds. Call Me Daddy are world champions no more.
It's really tough, especially when it's so close, like a game like this game was. You know, it's anyone could have won. But I guess now it's just time to practice more and play harder as a team together.
Call Me Daddy didn't win, but there is no doubt they'll return next year to try and claim back their title. The Argentines say that without their horses, they wouldn't be who they are today. No wonder then that the country's national sport is played on horseback, pato. In a mixture of basketball and polo, 2 teams of 4 riders score points by throwing a ball through a ring. The team with the most goals after 32 minutes wins. Teams El Ciasco and Barrancas del Salado are arch rivals and both won a top spot in Argentina. El Ciasco's player Justo, currently holding the title, is about to flex his muscles in an upcoming game to prove who's best.
Este partido lo bueno que vamos a sacar, que va a ir mucha gente del pueblo, va a ser un reconocimiento muy grande si podemos llegar a tener el triunfo.
Veteran Barrancas player Dario Gonzalez is determined not to let that happen.
Voy a jugar hasta que el físico me dé, voy a tratar de jugar. Para mí el pato es todo, es mi vida.
Justo Bermudez grew up in a small village in the countryside where paved roads are still a rare sight. As the farm worker's best friend, he's been around horses since his childhood. Justo started playing pato when he was 15.
La cosa que más me gusta en el deporte es que soy bastante atleta y me gusta por ahí inventar un poco jugando. O sea, hacer buenos pases, agarrar buenas pelotas.
The game was invented by cowboys called gauchos back in the 17th century. Pato is Spanish for duck because early games used a live duck inside a basket instead of a ball. Pato was then banned for its brutality until the 1930s, when new rules were invented and the sport was reborn. Barrancas del Salado have won the most titles in the modern game. For team captain Dario Gonzalez, the upcoming match is significant. It's been 8 years since they last played against Justo's team El Ciasco, a game they lost. This time they will do anything to win.
Nosotros tenemos, Barrancas se caracteriza en hacer muchos pases, en que la pelota vaya más ligero que el caballo. Y el Ciasco se caracteriza tiene jugadores muy fuertes, andan muy ligeros.
The rules say you're only allowed to use your right hand to pick up and pass the ball called pato unless an opponent comes close enough to force a chinchada, a tug-of-war. The player in possession must ride with his right arm outstretched so his opponents have a chance to grab the ball and get away.
Hoy llegó el día, llega el gran partido de pato, nuestro deporte nacional. El clásico de siempre, Barrancas del Salado versus El Ciasco.
The teams make their way to the starting position. It's a game all in red, since both sides insist on wearing their home colors for this important match. Pato is played over 4 8-minute quarters. During the match, players switch horses frequently to prevent exhaustion. It only takes pulling the pato a little too aggressively to fire up the crowd's emotions. Dario's team net the first goal. But the celebrations are cut short. Justo's in trouble.
Me sangre un caballo cruzado y me pega con la punta de la cadera acá, en la pierna. Mucho dolor.
Justo knows what's at stake. He grits his teeth and remounts. His best efforts fall short, though. Coming out of the first quarter, Dario's team lead by 2 points. Next quarter, Justo fights his way to the basket and scores a goal. 2 minutes later, another. But it's just not enough. The rivals extend their lead.
Nosotros en este tiempo vamos a tratar de cambiar un poco la estrategia de juego y no correr tanto y ser muy rápido nosotros cuando tenemos el pato en la mano.
In the third quarter, Justo's team turn up the pressure on the Barrancas. The new tactics work well. They're now just 1 goal behind. The final quarter, Dario's team regain the upper hand, and the experienced captain shines, advancing the ball and scoring goal after goal. Victory goes to Dario's team, the Barrancas. it's a major disappointment for Justo's team El Ciasco. Even though the rising star has lost the game, he's earned himself a lot of respect.
Lástima que no pudimos ganar. Esperamos la revancha, le vamos a ganar, así que no hay problema.
Estoy muy feliz y los chicos jugaron, la verdad que jugaron un partidazo. Muy buen partido.
From every corner of the globe, the weird, the tough, the rough, bizarre, ancient, and mind-bending athletics. All this and more on Games of Strange.